Hello everyone, and I'd like to welcome you to my second video. I'm sorry it took a long time between the first and the second. It's just been so hot here that the thought of doing anything, it's just overwhelming. Anyhow, I'm in front of a fan and I'm happy now. So let's talk about what we are thinking about today. Let's say if you are decided that you're going to make Aliyah and you're ready. But now you've got a house full or an apartment full of things. What are you going to do with them? Are you going to bring it with you? Are you going to pack it up and give stuff away? Are you going to sell things? Combination? Whatever you want is going to be good for you is good for you. The thing is, different people choose to do different things. We came with about 14 suitcases, most of them being mine. You're entitled to, I guess, about 3 each if you're making Aliyah. And we paid extra. And we paid probably about maybe $1,000 at the airport, which was still way better for us because to ship your things it was going to cost about $10,000. Plus once it gets here, you know, there's to release it and you have to go to Haifa or a port that's near you and release it, and it gets to be a little bit much. So I guess that it depends on how much you want your things. Some people want an apartment, and they want an apartment that looks just like their home is now, wherever you are living in the United States or Canada. And other people think, I want to start new. I'm going to start new, and it might be a little bit slower, or maybe you have the money to do it right away. Some people come here and they buy a car the next day. So it just depends on what's best for you. For us, like I said, doing the 14 suitcases was amazing. We came into an apartment that wasn't furnished. Somebody had left us table and some chairs, like really plastic chairs and whatever, but at least something, and a couch. The couch was hideous, but it didn't matter. It was something to sit on. We had already ordered our beds and arranged that with the real estate agent, so that was fine. And then everything else that we did it little by little and picked each piece or ordered each piece special for us, and it was really fun and really nice. And yeah, it took a little bit longer, but on the other hand, people that come in and they're waiting for their lift to come in, it's crazy because you're supposed to ship it a few weeks before you leave, so you're living in one place where you have nothing, and then you're living in another place when you get here that has nothing. So then you get, oh my goodness, I need a microwave, I can't wait any longer. You go out and you buy one, and you end up with 2 fridges and 2 microwaves and things, because when it finally comes, and it gets here when it gets here, you know, and that's kind of the way it works. So you either have to live without stuff in 2 places, or you buy extra stuff. Whatever you decide to do, nothing's perfect. Nothing's perfect. Some people come and it's pretty much perfect because they moved into a place that is fully furnished, has everything that they need, and they're still shipping a few things over, so they still have their personalized items that are coming to them, and it's really nice. It gets here when it gets here, and they don't really care because they already have everything else to live on. Now, is that the best way? It depends. You want to live with someone else's furniture? Great. Not everybody does. First of all, I kept thinking, oh my gosh, you know, the dogs, and then thank goodness I didn't, because I took in cats that destroyed some of my furniture. I wouldn't have wanted to have been responsible for someone else's. So you have to think about what's right for you. When I sold my things, it was hard. You have to keep saying to yourself, this is really, really hard, but it's going to get me to where I want to go. It was money for us to live on in the meantime, and it did help us to get here. So although we gave away a lot of things at the end, and throughout, if someone had bought a lot of things, we gave stuff away. And when we left our apartment in Toronto, literally we left people in our apartment taking down curtains and things like that. We said, just take them. Just take them. We didn't sell them, and we don't want them, so just take them. We left people in our apartment, tell them to just close the door behind them, and they took tons of stuff. And it was amazing, because one of the things that we did was, just before we moved, we were having our last sale, and I met some girl in the hallway moving in, and I was talking to her, and I said, where are you from? And she said, I'm from Israel. And I said, no way. Like, really? We're moving to Israel? And she's like, oh yeah, I come from a very small town. You probably haven't heard of it. It's called Nahariya. I'm going, no, that's where I live. That's where we're going to be living. It was like unbelievable. Anyhow, she tells me that her family has this business, and they sell pots and pans and things. And the funny thing is, she has no pots and pans. So I said, well, I have pots and pans. I'm going to give you my pots and pans. I'm not going to sell them to you because I know how hard it is when you first move. I'm just going to give them to you. So I gave them to her, and it was nice. It felt nice to do it, and it wasn't important for me to sell them. At this point, it was really nice to give them. And the people moved in, and about 2 weeks later, we moved out. So one day, I'm walking around Naharia, small town, and I see this cheese shop, and I walk in, and in part of the cheese shop is this place selling pots and pans. So I start to talk to them, and I am just telling them about this story, how I gave this woman my pots and pans. This is my sister. This is my sister. The guy's telling me, he goes, I know who you are. She told me all about you, and it was everything. And it was really, really nice. Did I get free cheese? No. Did I get any free pots and pans? No. But it was a fun thing it was nice. It was fun to kind of put everything together and know that it is such a small world, even though it's not a small world. Anyhow, I digress for a change. So back to bringing your things in. I had to go and buy one pot, one pan, one of everything. You know, we for place settings. We didn't do any more because we were only 3 at the time, and the animals were not eating off our fancy plates. So whatever, no problem. Everything worked out fine. Eventually, I got a second set of dishes, and people gave us stuff. And I mean, people give you things here. It's incredible. And one of the really cool things about Naharia, I'm not sure if it's all over Israel because I haven't seen it in that many places, but one of the things here is when people put stuff out they don't want any longer, and it can be dishes like that are fully wrapped up and brand new, but for some reason they chose not to keep them. They don't put them in the garbage. They put them beside the garbage or on the front of their building, which may have a cement block or something in front, and they put the stuff out for other people to take. And this is all the time. So you can find all kinds of things. I know somebody who furnished their apartment fully on stuff that was either given to them or that they found outside. And I mean, it's always pretty reasonably, intact. And sometimes it's like you can't believe it. I found dishes literally that were still wrapped up in the box, never to be touched. They were plain white. They probably decided that they needed them for something and then didn't use them and put them outside. I mean, it's crazy. This is going on all the time. So you can always, if you don't mind that type of thing, some people just don't want to even think about it. But you kind of get used to it when you're here. And I have this bike with a really big basket, so when I'm driving around, I'm like, oh, if I wait any longer, it's going to be gone. Stick it in my basket now. And then I shove it around wherever I need to go, and that's okay. I'm always bringing things home and either refinishing them or painting on them or keeping them until I can give them away to somebody else that I think might need them. Anyhow, it's a lot of fun, and I certainly don't mind that type of thing. And I'm the first person, when I don't need something, to offer it to somebody else. We've given microwaves away here and toaster ovens and things like that to people that needed it. And in turn, I also got a free microwave from somebody who was not needing theirs anymore because they were going to buy a new one. Everybody helps each other here, so don't forget that. You're never really alone here, and people help you, like I said, whether you want them to or not. They're in your lives, they're your neighbors, they're your friends, and they want to help you. So think about what's important to you. Do you want your apartment to look just like it does now where you're living? Bring everything, but be careful. The apartments are smaller here, the door frames seem to be smaller, the elevators are a little bit smaller, so try to measure things before you come. And if you want to do something that is, I guess, half furnished or furnished, you can do both. You can do things that are semi-furnished. There's all kinds of possibilities for what you might want to do. In the meantime, think about it. Try to get rid of a few things. Clean your closets. Purge as much as you can, because it does get really, really expensive to bring your things with you. So what's really important? What has the memories attached? The memories are really in our head, right? Do we really need all that stuff? Well, I'm a bad person to ask, but I know that if I'm telling you the right thing to do, think about where the memories really come from. They're from your heart and from your head, and they're not really attached to a little frame or something. But pictures, bring your pictures. I left a lot of my pictures behind with somebody, which was fine because I have been back since and I've been able to grab some. But oh my goodness, why wasn't I thinking stick the pictures in between clothes and stuff? No, I had so many pictures that I didn't bring with me, and that was crazy. CDs, same thing. I got crazy near the end. I put them in a big bin, and just gave them away to people. Here, take handfuls, I don't care, DVDs, CDs. Why didn't I put them in my suitcase? Just a few favorites. We came with the I think at that time, 5 movies of Rocky, Mamma Mia, and Fiddler on the Roof. That's it. The important things to us. And the Rockies were Noah. So my son was like crazy about them at that time. He watched them again and again and again, so it worked out fine. Now I don't know exactly where there are. Oh yes, and Russell Peters, my favorite comedian, Canadian born. So brought that one as well. Other than that, we didn't bring any CDs, nothing. I was like, what was I thinking? I'm crazy. You get like possessed near the end. You just want to go already. You just want to go and you want to pack your stuff and you're so excited and it's amazing. So I'm going to wrap it up now because it's over 10 minutes and going on to 11. I don't want to leave it any longer than that. But thank you once again for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, the red button below, and please leave me comments. I love to hear what you say, and if you have any ideas about what you want to hear about, that's great too. And I look forward to speaking to you sooner than the last time, which was about 2 weeks, and I'm going to try really hard not to let it go that long this time. I'll try for 5 days or so. We'll see what happens. And I love you guys. Thank you so much. I'm really enjoying doing this, and I hope it helps somebody. If it helps one person, that's great. And if it helps more, even better. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.